Hello. I wanted to film a reading vlog because I always have a lot of fun filming that, and I also need to read, but I didn't want to film just any type of reading vlog. I think the last two videos I managed to mention that it's almost going into fall. I'm doing a spooky reading vlog because I do have some spooky books. I'm actually buddy reading The House Across the Lake, but I'm definitely going to be reading part of it, if not all of it. This is going to be my first thriller like horror book that I've ever read. So honestly, I'm kind of scared because I am a huge scaredy cat when it comes to stuff like that. Whenever I read about a scary thing or I watch a show about a scary thing, it like evolves and repeats in my mind. So I'm really hoping this one's not that bad. Wish me luck with that one. But before I get into this one, I'm actually going to try and maybe finish one that's not spooky. This is just one that I want to finish because I already started reading it and I'm like halfway through. And I actually started reading it in my last video. It's The Infinity Between Us, Second Chance Romance. Another book that I really want to read is Gothicana. It's the most like Halloween vibe book that I have. It's a romance fantasy type of book. That's my cup of tea. Guys, it's raining. It's raining. It's the next day. I did finish The Infinity Between Us today. This book was so good. I will be reading The House Across the Lake starting bright and early tomorrow. Wow, okay. At the very beginning of the book, and there's already a twist and a setup. This is like a really good beginning hook moment. Something was already a plot twist in it, and I don't even know that much about it yet. My battery's about to die, so I'm gonna change it. I feel like I know a really big twist in this book, and I really do wish I didn't spoil it for myself. I don't even remember how or when I spoiled this for myself, but I did, and I don't know why I did that to myself. And now I know something, and it's kind of upsetting that I know it, but I just hope there's more that can surprise me, and we'll see. But yeah, that's on me. I feel like I'm like at the end of the book, but it's the beginning, and I'm so confused by that. Update, it's later in the evening and I'm on page 40. It's like I'm not expecting, like I'm expecting the scary events and like plot twists to be scary, but I'm not actually expecting the writing to be scary. But the writing is definitely scary. Like the whole tone of the book is scary, but even just like normal things being described, the lake house itself that she's living in is scary to me. I know that I've described like the premise of this book in a different video before, but I don't know if I've described it in this one. But it's basically this girl who's an actress that is living in this lake house, and then across the lake there's a model and who moves in with her husband, and the model almost drowns and she saves her, and the model is in like a glass house, and she kind of watches, like spies basically on them, kind of stalkerish, but the wife goes missing and she thinks the husband killed her. Is this said on the back of the book? Let me see, because I don't want to say it if it's not. Yeah, so she's recently widowed. Her husband that she had actually died at the lake. Everything is scary in these descriptions. Her lake house is terrifying to me. It's not like anything sinister that's been like to be said about it, but the certain words that are used, the tone and the way that things are described creeps me out. Like if I was there alone, I'd be freaking out. The lake sounds disturbing when it's being described. Like it actually sounds frightening. And the glass house gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like, ew, imagine a glass house next to a lake. That's actually so terrifying. Like there are so many things about this book. The pure imagery of this book is scary. I love how everything's explained. Like even the backstory of the setting is explained. It just gives me so much context, and I keep highlighting things because a lot of things feel like they're like clues, or it feels like you're getting the answers in like a really subtle way. You could also just like read into them and that may or may not pay off. I don't really know. I'm really only at the beginning where the scene is being set, and and the whole background's being explained, and it was just talking about how her husband was dead and stuff, and like the morning that she kind of found that out. And it's unnerving, and I absolutely hate it, especially because you kind of get attached to the husband because it goes into a bit of detail, not like full-on flashback. Well, there are some flashbacks, but like not full-on in-depth, like you feel like you're in that present moment, but it's more like fondly looking back on her time with him. Then it's heart-wrenching when you discover what happened. I hate the vibes of thrillers, like when things are meant to be scary, because it's so depressing. I'm just like having a hard time with that because I do not really love reading depressing stuff. The aim is for you to be scared, so it's like there hasn't been like a feel-good moment where you're like, oh, this person's gonna work through this. Like, I'm just scared. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. That being said, the writing and imagery is so hauntingly beautiful, and let me just actually read out loud some of the descriptors that really get me. I'm reading the parts about the husband. It's talking about when she's on the lake. She just rescued Catherine, the neighbor that lives across from her, across the lake. So she just rescued her and she's bringing her back to her lake house. And they're reflecting in the glass exterior of her house. And it says, our reflections wobbling as if we're made of water ourselves. That imagery at nighttime, wobbling while being like on the water in the reflection in the glass house. The distortion of reality is what creeped me out. Catherine was a model, and so even when Catherine was like walking out of her boat like towards her lake house, she was described as she has the effortless grace of a ghost. And I just feel like that's such a smart way to describe how she's walking because it just fits in with the creepy vibe. I get scared easily, so people who are like really into horror books, they might not think that that stuff is scary, but I'm successfully have been scared already, and I'm on page 40. So
I've reached the point where I don't care anymore about all that. I think all of that's past.
God, that actually scared me.
Another country, and I'll wheel you in the wheelchair.
These are the cookies. These are all the ones that are of this week.
Damn, they smashed the fuck out of that chocolate one.
I don't know. I guess I just kind of, I think it's just.
She was mad. Can you eat them now, please?
Yeah, yes. Uh-huh.
Whoa. Interesting. Very interesting. But it's good. Wasn't what I was expecting. It's colder than I was expecting. What does that taste like? It's like, I've had it before.
I know, it tastes like something to me too.
The thing on the top.
Oh, I think I've had it.
So that was the strawberry milk, and now it's the
Like
peanut butter chocolate munch or some shit like
There you
that. Oh, this one's gonna be good.
This one's like the Muddy Buddy one, and Muddy Buddies are already so good.
Yeah, get ready. That one's really good. I have a feeling this one's gonna be good. Cake batter. That's my palette. Did you just press on your gas?
No, my car just does that.
So this one's at the same level as the chocolate peanut butter one.
Dude, that's so good. You know what the frosting tastes like? Is exactly like the funfetti frosting that comes in those little blue like doughboy things.
Me too, that one and the peanut butter one. The strawberry one is really good, but it's the doughiness of the other two that are just like, whoa, so good.
Honestly, I think we have completely different favorites.
Because
my favorite are the strawberry one and the dark chocolate like dream one.
Okay.
Those are my top favorites.
I like the strawberry one too. I like the chocolate one too, but compared to I think the peanut butter one's probably my favorite. But the freaking birthday cake is good too. I need like a bite one after the other, but I feel like I just did that. But it's like it doesn't resonate when I'm trying to compare. The strawberry one's fire. And if you're craving a good ass cookie,
They're honestly really good because they're like thick and gooey. That is true. So if you like thick and gooey cookies.
that is true. They're also big, so
See,
I might just get mine to
I see
land,
why the hype
honestly.
is there. Seriously?
So it has me feeling like, you know?
It has me feeling that way too, but I'm just gonna wait until I want them again. You know, I see why people get them. I did like it. I think the next flavors they're gonna have are probably gonna be fall flavors, but I kind of want to go when they have like fruity flavors. They're probably gonna have an apple pie one soon.
Apple pie would be good. Yeah, it would. I don't know. I really did like them. I will say, like, I almost wanted more variety, I guess. But I did really like these. But I think it'd be interesting to try one that, like, is kind of crazy, you know? Like Fruity Pebbles. Yeah. I feel like that strawberry one, it was really good, but they could have made it... I want to try that one in, like, a warm version.
Oh, yeah, I could see.
Like,
well, you could heat it up.
Yeah, I guess.
Alright, that was the end of us trying these cookies. I have started Gothicana. It's currently raining and I really hope that you can hear it because this sound is one of the best sounds ever, coupled with the fact that I'm reading a book that I am liking so far. I don't think that it's gonna be like one of my faves. I'm not getting those types of vibes from it, but I do think it's really perfect for this season and the time of year. There's a lot of poetic feel to this. I did start reading bits and pieces of Wuthering Heights. This book's writing at some points kind of reminds me of it in a weird way. I don't know what it is. There's the quote from Wuthering Heights, at least that's why I even like started reading bits of Wuthering Heights, is because I heard the quote, and I think it is, "If you say I killed you, haunt me then." And this book like gives me that quote's vibes. It's just very dramatic, that like classic literature dramaticness. If someone really likes dark academia and the fall like spooky vibes, but not super scary, but just kind of twisted and spooky, and then also likes like classic literature, Pride and Prejudice the movie, that kind of like dramatic love confession type of thing. There hasn't been any like dramatic love confessions, but it reminds me of this book. So if ever someone likes all that stuff, I feel like they would also like this book. Yeah, I don't know. Those are my thoughts so far. There are like things that I like, things that I don't really like, but I'm intrigued. And the fuck was that? This is taking place at a boarding school, or no, not a boarding school, a college in the woods. It's kind of like a forbidden romance in a way because the guy is a professor at the school and she's a student. She's just like older for a student because she's going to college a bit later in life. So she's 21 and he's 28. I'm putting blue tabs on all the parts where it's like a clue. It's much later. I got like halfway, a little over halfway through the book. I'm on page 263. It's pretty good. I really am so curious on what's happening and I really want to know the answers, all the unanswered questions. It got spookier. Like some descriptions of things are so creepy and it's freaking me out and I was actually kind of scared, but it's just like very dark and the themes are all very dark. Something really unexpected happened and I did not like it at all, but at the same time it's part of the book and it's almost like it was hinted at happening earlier and now I feel like of course I should have assumed that something like that was going to happen. It was hinted at so head on that it was almost like I didn't expect it. I don't know. Hello. I feel like I've started off clips so many times by saying it's the next day and it's late in the day. That is because my sleeping schedule is fucked up. I finished Gothicana and boy was I shocked. You know the thing about matte and like covers? Oh my god, I should have already taken a picture for this because my fingerprints are all over this. It's just covered with my fingerprints. This book was insane. Like actually was not expecting the twists and turns in this book. When I say I want like a paranormal romance, I'm more so talking about like hot vampires. I'm not really referring to absolutely paranormal scary shit. Like I myself, as I've said in this video, can't really handle, I don't have a high tolerance for scary things. I can't watch scary movies. I really cannot actually, like my mind will just make up things and add on top and make it even scarier than it was, and it's torture. So that being said, this book has scared me beyond what I'm comfortable with at certain points, but it like reeled it back in with a cute romance. Like the fact that it had the romance in there, I mean, I wouldn't actually describe this romance as cute. It's more so just like very intense and like passionate, but having the romance in there really brought me back to like not being as scared because I was like, it's fine, like there's romance, I could focus on that and not be terrified, and so that helped me a bit. But yeah, I was definitely scared at some points. There was a scene with a mirror involved, and I don't know what it is, but like I do not like when scary things have mirrors involved because I would like to not be afraid every single time I look in a mirror. And I also felt like Nancy Drew. I would say there's mostly blue tabs, and the blue tabs were the ones I put on all the ones where I was like, okay, this is a clue, this is a clue, this is a clue. And it was so fun because I was like, what is going on? And the mystery was great. Like I had such a good time trying to figure that out. But also this book, it leaves you with questions. I think it is good to go into this book blind, so I'm probably gonna go back and like take out what I don't want people to hear from my reactions earlier. I did wonder if some of the questions left unanswered were like on accident or if they were on purpose, because I feel like there could have been a second book just diving into like all the unanswered questions, because it does make it kind of ominous. Is that the right word? I don't know, but it makes it kind of ominous how there's like so many unanswered questions, because it like kind of fits with the book. At the same time, it's like frustrating. It's even addressed that there are unanswered questions, but it's just like reading it, wanting to know what's going on. It's like I'm so invested in this that I want to know like the concrete answers of what is going on, but I guess it's just like another part of the book that kind of sucked me in, and now it's got me thinking. And it will probably have me thinking for a long time, because I was very, very invested. I still am. There were a good amount of grammar mistakes, and usually I really can overlook the grammar. Like, I'm never really someone who small grammar things will like bug me that much. It took me this to read like a couple of times. Not really a big deal, but at the same time I feel like if this book was proofread a bit more, it would bump it up so much, because there were some sentences where I was like, I know what is trying to be said here, but it's like it really is saying almost the exact opposite. This is one of the coolest settings ever. It's also one of the spookiest, but this is like my dream to go to a place like this because it sounds so cool. If anyone's looking for like a fall read that's spooky, paranormal, and just creepy and will scare you, but also romantic and kind of cute at some moments, I would recommend this book, because it was so, oh my gosh, like it honestly exceeded my expectations. And even I feel like the ending really blew my mind. Like, I was so amazed with how much I ended up loving this book. I didn't like Bad in the beginning. His name's Bad, B-A-D. Certain things that he did, I was like, wow, that was, certain things that he did and said pissed me off. At the same time, like, I knew that I was gonna end up liking him, because that's just always what ends up happening when you're reading a romance book. Is, well, not always, but most of the time I end up liking them in the end, because I understand them more and like all this stuff. So by the end I definitely did love him. And I also think that certain things that bothered me about his character kind of went with the whole, I don't know, intensity or like the stakes of it, the high stakes of it. I feel like it kind of went hand in hand. I think that's about all I have to say. I very much recommend it. I have decided not to finish this book anytime soon. I may finish it one day, but I'm not going to read it because I just don't want to right now. Like, I really don't want to. The way I got scared of this one, and this one's like an actual like thriller, it's just not looking good. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you liked this video. And oh yeah, what was I gonna say? I don't know. Just, I'll see you in the next one. That's what I was gonna say.